make it sound annoying. The song isn't annoying.
Sabi girl know that you like work. Sorry.
Hey, you not playing hype man here. Just go back outside. Karen coming here with the hype man self. Just go back outside. You not encouraging Christal and nonsense. Just go away. You're appreciated in other things, but not for this one, okay?
Yeah, like come pull this cord here.
All right. So we are back for our final segment, which is our Talk to Me part of the program, where we give you, the listeners, the opportunity to raise any questions or comments that you have for us. But sometimes you don't, so we have to come prepared with something. So, Christal, what we have to do?
My mind just like the Talk to Me segment. I'm like, could you just imagine having to tell a guy, not in a bad or anything? Come on, talk to me. Anyways,
what's up with y'all this morning?
I have no idea. It's the air. All right, so stumbled upon this clip here on social media, Lisa, and found it rather interesting. What is Jimmy telling me here? I find Jimmy telling me something humorous.
Oh, that's his name?
Stick to reading the news, please. I mean, yeah, no. Ooh, oopsie.
No, I know your name.
No, she doesn't. This is the wrong person. Okay, right. So I'm gonna play the video, right? So you can listen to it on the radio if you want to contribute. 4579997 WhatsApp and number to call as well. We're on Facebook and YouTube at WEFM99SVG. So let's play it.
A dad wrote into the Washington Post advice column because he expects his 20-year-old college student daughter to sleep in separate rooms when her boyfriend comes to visit. But his wife, not the boyfriend's wife, but her mother, says she wants her husband to face the reality that their daughter has been practically living with this man while they've been studying abroad, so let them cohabitate. So is it time for him to let go, or is it his house, his rules, or their house, their rules, or I don't know.
Go at the end's facial expression. It's like,
girl, I just found the thing to be so funny. So amusing, right? So, but Christal, what is your opinion?
I feel like you found it funny. So I'm thinking that you are thinking maybe the daddy should let go.
Actually, no, it's not.
Really?
No, I'm not. And I would be very honest. This conversation, I actually posed this question to a group of my female friends the other day. So I asked them, so at what age were you allowed to have your boyfriend sleep over? And they were like, Roleza, what do you mean at what age? The age hasn't reached us yet.
Oh.
Right? Because the thing of it is that, and I think because we grew up in such a traditional way, that it's still not something that we would ever feel comfortable doing, having our boyfriend sleep over at our parents' place.
You're lucky you didn't get we could actually have boyfriends.
well, is that too? Is that too? You know, so I just found it very interesting because, you know, the whole thing is, yes, it's my rules, my house. But then, you know, that, well, I think that's the thing. I'm not sure if Caribbean parents are necessarily set in their ways with it. I just think that for maybe the generation that I grew up in, that would be the case where even to yourself, you won't even dare ask your parents, could my boyfriend, no matter what age you become, could my boyfriend actually sleep over?
Could he actually even come over to visit? I think culturally it depends on the family dynamics. So I have interacted with some families who are okay with the daughters, because the gender difference is another thing too. The daughters having a boyfriend, the boyfriend coming over, and you know, then the boyfriend is sleeping and all of that there, and other families like, nope, no way, you're not even coming for a drink, you're not even allowed to like pick her up and all that jazz. But in this instance here, this is from the American culture. 22 years old, you bringing home a fella.
So is it an age thing for you? So it's at 30, is it okay?
30, maybe you bring home a fiance, right? But I tend to, okay, in this case, I'm not disagreeing with the father. It's his house, right? It's his rules. Regardless of what you do outside, that's your business, because you're living in your own apartment. That is your business. But when it come under my roof that I pay the mortgage for, and you will separate. You go into your room with the teddy bears and stuff and put them in the guest
room. I would always remember there was a time when I was growing up. So there's this person who was just probably like 5 years older than me. So we go to a house, and I would always remember her mother saying that the boyfriend is allowed to come there, but he just can't sleep there, right? But what it is that I could never understand was the fact that, so if I'm there, I would see that her and the boyfriend are locked in the room, right? They would be in the room together. So to me, I'm there thinking, so what really is the difference between them spending time together in a room by themselves as opposed to him actually sleeping over?
Maybe
what's
it territorial
difference?
Or maybe it's a bit much. Sleeping over is like an extra thing. I can't describe it, but you reach, like, it's like a reach. I'm so comfortable with this family, with my girlfriend and what's not, my in-laws, that I am allowed to sleep over. Because of the age too, right? Why I would agree with the father is it going to become a customary thing? What if next semester she gets a new boyfriend?
Okay.
And she brings home the boyfriend and sleeping together in the bedroom, and it's just like, okay, my house is not like a hotel or anything.
Well.
No, you sleep in separate bedrooms. You can say fine, because you want to save some money, but separate bedrooms. The background, maybe the father is more like traditional. While he can't control what is happening outside of his home, he could control what's happening here. And it's like, no fornication in my house. No way, Jose. At least not in the same bedroom. You sleep there and she sleeps there. I don't want any grandkids, and especially under this house
my
here.
watch. But I find that it's so maybe I probably grew up a little bit old school, right? And but I find that it's sort of changing in a way where I feel that there are parents these days who, even their children as teenagers, would allow them to have their boyfriends over, and maybe even to spend the night, which to me is just weird. Absolutely weird.
They might say, at least I know where they are.
And that's the other side of the argument. Some parents may say they prefer for them to, be doing it under their roof, knowing that they're safe, knowing that they're not out in the road, not out in the street, not out in a car, that sort of thing. But I don't know. I don't know if it's a case where if you allow them to, it's encouraging them.
May not necessarily be the case, because you also have to be knowledgeable of the relationship between yourself as a parent and your child or children. Some children actually listen to and abide by the directives of the parent. Some, would stray and go and do their other things. But so it goes back to the relationship between the parent and the child. Somebody says 37, as in, what is 37? We asked the question, what the age? Somebody says, hey, Anne, he don't have his own bed.
No, but if he's visiting, that's the thing. If let's say they're so let's say the daughter she has you go with a campus, and so you want for the boyfriend to visit SVG, right? Where is he going to sleep?
Right. So okay. So like that, obviously you can stay by me, but you can't stay by me.
But that's making the assumption that I have an extra room.
So what the living room for?
Oh, so he sleep on the floor and
you sleep on the
couch in the living room.
You sleep on the couch in the living room. I'll get you a sleeping bag if the couch is uncomfortable.
I remember having this discussion with a friend of mine because she had a long distance relationship too, and I was like, "So will he just sleep when he come up?" And I was like, "So she tell me, what you mean will he just sleep?" And I'm saying, "Yeah, you don't feel uncomfortable." She said, "But we had no choice." I don't know. I just thought it was the weirdest thing.
I know what I think. It also depends on how deep in the relationship they are.
They were together for years, so it wasn't a case where the parents
they're practically married. Come on,
man. Still,
would you? Okay, so if you had a child, would
you? Nah,
I don't even finish the question.
No. It's a no, man.
I can't even finish the question. Husband and wife, they're married. Would you even allow that?
Okay, so husband and wife, I would probably allow it. But for me
Probably.
as a married person, I would not do it.
Look at this one. When the parents are sleeping, he or she will sneak into whatever room.
Well,
The
that's
parents won't
it
even
too.
know.
Yeah, that is it too. But
I've seen is it Tyler Perry's movies? Or one of them? Oh, was it Bernie Mac? I believe it was Bernie Mac, where Ashton Kutcher was in it, where she brought him home and he wasn't allowed to sleep in the bedroom. Something like that. One of those movies. It was hilarious. Missed that call, so you got to call back really quickly. 457-9997. All right, let's get you it. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning again. I really love how you young ladies or not so young ladies are
Keep it a young
dealing
ladies,
with,
Dave. Come on, man. Don't do that.
Huh?
Don't do us that. We young
Hello?
ladies. Thank you.
Yes, but I really love y'all y'all take me back into nostalgia there. I'll tell you something with my experience, and I love to share some of my experiences too.
Oh boy.
It all depends. Caribbean people culture, maybe Vincentian, we have our own way of dealing with these things. I'll tell you something. If I know, I know with some families, if the guy is an influential man, a man maybe with wealth and everything, oh boy, he could do nothing wrong. He would be accepted. You know, never mind what people want to say. I mean, that particular experience, and I measure certain people, like, you know, the reception you get from them and so on. I mean, I've had the pleasure of sleeping with somebody's daughter. I could imagine what some people thinking of me. I've had that pleasure, and the way they treat me, I felt like a king, right? There's some people, you know, for some reason, some people just look up to you, maybe for your possession and where you come from, your family name, and all of that. So I know. So maybe to conclude, I think it all has to do with different strokes for different folks. If you're a nice guy and the parents accept you, they will allow you. They will allow you. I have found myself in that situation. But again, I think if you're a one parent, or I'm not saying all one parent like mother, like, you know, mother is usually the one parent. Not all mothers mothers will accept that, but I think, you know, a lot of that goes on if it comes from a broken home. They couldn't be bothered. They allow you to reach a certain age, and if a man, you know, they just close their eyes or, you know, whatever. That's my part of it. Thank you.
Okay, all right, thanks, Dave. Dave does make an interesting point there. I'm not even necessarily going to say social standing, but maybe the allowance of letting the person sleep over does come down to whether or not the parent likes the person. Do they like the daughter? Well, do they like the female that the son is dating, or do they like the son that the daughter is dating? Maybe sometimes in a way it does come down to that, a personality thing as well.
But for some parents who are very protective, they might feel that they're being replaced. So it may not be the personality. It might just be the fact that there is somebody else, and you put it right in my face that
right in the home, you mean?
Yeah. I'm putting myself in this shoe, right? Like, fast forwarding 20 years.
So when your son gets older,
and he gets significantly older. Let me
you mean like when he's 30?
When he's 40. Would he be allowed to? Oh, I'm just kidding. Yeah. When he gets older and it's that age where it's acceptable, I think I will be comfortable with. Is he serious about this person? It has to be conditional, because I will not be the kind of parent to encourage you to bring. Yeah, this is not a hotel or something. You know, a call is coming through. I should start building the house to accommodate that. Hello, good morning.
I call him morning.
Good morning. I think sometimes some of the parents too, they prefer to know what is going on in their daughter or son life. So they think if it's best if they could control it in the house than having it out there, because, you know, they I don't know how to say it. It's like want to teach them how to live as a unit, as a family. And so some people tend to want to let it start in their house so they could direct them how to live. I mean, if you're out there doing things and they don't have no idea what you're doing, they feel, they feel they don't have any control over you. So sometimes that's why some parents probably allow the other party to come into the house.
But,
and then in terms of development too, I mean, if you have two young people now starting off, if it's going to lead to marriage, some parents feel if it's going to lead to marriage, they want you to develop yourself and have money. So when you leave the nest, you could go and, rent a house or buy a house, you know what I mean? So they want that structure. Sometimes the structure is what it is. Because nuclear family is a good thing, because, it's one pot cooking, everybody eating out of the one pot, money pool. And so I think sometimes people look at it as a taboo that your daughter coming home with a boyfriend but if it's a potential marriage, or, if it's going to be leading up to that, I think they're more inclined to have that nuclear family than let it go. So that's my part of it.
All right, and thanks.
All right, thanks.
And he does raise an interesting point, because as much as I miss it in the context of when it is I was growing up, like I won't dare even ask. We do have to look at families where we have the grandparents living in homes. We have like 3-4 generations living in under one house, So it's not necessary to say that it doesn't happen, but I suppose it's maybe those initial stages of it happening, like getting past the uncomfortableness of it. Yeah, that was no word, but yes, getting past the discomfort of maybe even approaching it, or I think maybe it might be like a gradual thing as well. So maybe he comes over, initially he starts sitting down in the living room, you're seeing him there a little bit too often, then he happens to sleep at night and he sleep in the living room, and then he gradually moves into the bedroom, so maybe for some families it's a gradual step that also takes place. But I don't know. I think even at my big old age, I'm not doing it.
You're not doing it?
I'm not doing it. Like, listen, I move out. Move right out,
That's a conversation too, right?
Yeah.
So the movie I was alluding to was Guess Who? So the father, he was very strict, and he was a black dad, and the boyfriend was white.
Oh.
And they were not allowed to sleep in the same room. Put him on the couch. Quite a humorous movie. Somebody responding here. Oopsie. Final 2 comments, and then we gotta wrap it up. To what Dave said, it's not always about social standing. Sometimes it's the guy or boy himself. Once the parent sees that the boy is a respectable person, then the parents will be more accommodating, more open. All right. And finally, it sometimes could be if the man has a decent job. If he has a decentish job, then he wouldn't have to stay with the parents.
All right, so that concludes our talk to me for today. Just throwing it out there, that I know that persons would have a different opinion. Like I sent it to the same video to a friend last night, and I said, "So what's your opinion on this?" A guy, and he's like, "But she's a big woman," So
at 22, you ain't even finished your degree, and you're a big woman. What do you think this is?
People would have mixed views on this. Yeah. So
depends on your social background too, right?
Yeah, and it depends on your personality and what you feel comfortable with. So.
Quickly though, so this is a girl bringing the boyfriend. In my mind, I'm thinking it's easier for the guy to bring in the girlfriend and there'd be like no questions or no eyes. It was like, oh, and might just even call a wrong name, even
And at that point, we're going to take a break and bring you today's community dateline.